Welcome to Deep Thought. Reprogram your mind. And I do mean the words reprogram. It's a tough thing, and really you have to self-program your mind, but it can be done. Because, look, let's be real, because, I always talk about the days, and I say the days could be metaphysical, the days could be political, the days could be economic, especially economic. Now, you program through three general ways. One, you program by the government. That's why there's such a fight out here for control of school boards and what kids read. Because schools are mainly programming. Some people, more cynical, would say, they programming you for work or they programming you to go to prison, one or the other. But if you think about what you're allowed to learn in school and what you might learn outside of school, you think about it's programming, it's propaganda for whatever country is in control. It's so many things, but what do you actually learn? Like when I look back at my kindergarten through 12th grade, there's very little I remember that I actually learned. Like in high school, I would say the things I learned was how to think. So that was good. But when I think about individual classes, it's like, what did I learn? You think about, what does school teach you? It teach you history. It teach you just enough so that you might read, but there's a lot of kids out there that can't read. And it's not so much reading the words, but having reading comprehension. You're just like, what's going on? But that's programming your mind in a certain way. There's been some other commenters who've talked about how, like the school bell is programming you to work in a factory and everything. There's so much, but it is programming you. That's one aspect. Religion is a program. Religion, when you in a church, temple, synagogue, you're just giving information. You ain't taught how to find it on your own. Now, I always say I don't promote a particular spiritual path. I have one. I just don't promote it. But what do I always say? I always say you need to explore on your own. And that's part of the way you can reprogram your mind. Now, the biggest program is really the media. The media. I'm going to tell you what. This is mostly propaganda. Anytime a federal agent says he don't watch either Fox or CNN, it was like, okay. Seriously, because each station, I don't care, they promoting a certain viewpoint. But that's programming, though, if you go with it. I would say, let's start with the media. Okay, they telling you one thing, explore it. It's just like I say with my channels. I say, hey, don't just take what I say for gospel. Explore it yourself to see if it works. Anytime you get something from the media, look it up. Look it up. There's a lot of stuff not said. Because every time I see something or people talking, I was like, oh, let me look this up. Sometimes you got to be in the real world and everything. Like, I'll say one. Let me use a racial one. There's always some stuff about blacks being lazy and all of that, or blacks, whatever's happening in the black community. And yeah, we got stuff happening, but they ain't a perfect community on this planet. Every single community can point to something bad happening. Like they'll talk about, using a racial example, they'll talk about, oh, blacks doing this, ain't doing this, suffering here, suffering there. Okay. But then I live in Maryland, which has the two richest black counties. There's some black folks apparently who doing very well. And not based on some DEI or affirmative action either. They doing very well. A lot of businesses, everything. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you got some bad stuff, but you got some good stuff. And like I said, you can check out any community. There's always some bad stuff. Yeah, you can talk about some housing project. You can also talk about a trailer park. You can also talk about who using drugs a certain way. But you have to explore that. That's not talked about. A lot of stuff ain't talked about in the media. Right now, we're in that presidential campaign, so we get a lot of media with that trying to sway people. And I do mean trying to sway people. But somebody who would reprogram their mind and program their mind not to listen to that, boom. Like every single thing, like, okay, I mentioned the three major programmers, government through schools, laws and everything, uh, religion, and also the media. I would say for everything, if you want to reprogram your mind, go outside of what you're being taught. Because what you're being taught in official environments, what propaganda you seeing is there to program you. So like with school, I've read more books outside of school than I did in college and the graduate level. I've read more books. I've come across stuff. When I teach now and what I talk about now has nothing to do with what I actually learned in school or any skill sets. I didn't learn that in school. I had to learn that on my own. Carter G. Woodson, who wrote the monumental book, The Miseducation of a Negro, he said it best. He was like, there's the education that you're giving, and then there's the education that you seek on your own. It's actually better if you seek it on your own. To me, schools, if they can teach you to read and count your money, they're good. They're good, seriously, as far as I see, even colleges and stuff. But you got to say, and in fact, I would tell people, don't go to a college unless there's something very specific there that you need to get. Yeah, I'll say it. And this is somebody with 2 degrees. Unless there's something very specific you need to get. Like, yeah, you do need that. You want to go to a law school or medical school, maybe be a CPA, okay, maybe be an engineer. But what if you have an idea for a retail business? What if you're good at that? You have to ask yourself, what is it that you really want? When you look at religion, that's why I always say everybody should explore. If you following any path, I don't care. I don't care who get mad. Just because your parents told you to follow don't mean you need to. You need to find your own path. You need to find your own path. And one of my beliefs is you will if you're looking, if you're sincere about it, it'll come find you. That's one of my beliefs, but you're not programmed. You're following something because you chose to, regardless of what the path is. You chose to, And when you talk about the media, understand something. Have your third eye open. Have your third ear open. All right, they try and tell you one thing. Okay, what is it? What's the other angle? Look at all angles of it and then do your own exploration. There's a lot of information out there that I haven't seen on a major media platform, or even when you're watching movies. There's a lot of programming that go into those movies. There was a ex-CIA agent. He actually said he knew where the United States was going to war. All he had to do was pay attention to the movies and everything, Because it was like, boom, there's always something. I give you an example, another racial one with Barack Obama. Now in 2004, that's when he became known. But then I remember a TV show in 2001, 24, one of my favorite shows. But one of the plots in it, it was one of the central characters was a black president. I want y'all to think about that. Even when you watching stuff, what they showing. When you watch commercials, what kind of programming is really being shown? That's a programming right there. They want you to buy something that you probably didn't need anyway. Who they showing with it? Who the couples in it? Trust me, somebody's thinking. They ain't saying it, but somebody's thinking about it. All right? Always question everything. Like first look at your mind and look at how it may be programmed. Did this thought, this action, this behavior come from you and your own explanations or your own explorations rather? Or did somebody say, oh, this is what you should be doing? I'm going to tell you the truth, vast majority of people follow the herd. They just following everything. A lot of people ain't thinking for themselves. But that's because they are programmed. The thing you got to do is just you got to look at yourself and say, okay, what's the program? Let me reprogram myself. Let me look outside. Let me do my own explorations of everything. Because that's the best way. The best single way is just to explore everything. Don't adopt something until you've explored it. All right? So that's all I have for right now. I want y'all to think about that and reprogram your mind, okay? I want y'all to think. Think on this. Peace and blessings.